and welcome to another TMI moment. I am Terra. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not already done so, please go ahead and click that share button. Let someone know that we are live with TMI. We are talking with Terra. And comment in the comment section. Let me know you're here. Say hi. If I say something that you like, give me a heart. Give me a thumbs up. Y'all know I always go back in the comment sections and I like to give you hearts back and I like to comment back to you as well. If you're catching the replay, do hashtag replay. If you have not tuned into our and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please click on the link in the description box and subscribe. Y'all, we are going to go ahead and jump right on in. I have a special Cyber Monday deal for you. So listen, I need you all to stay tuned to the end. We have been talking about being who we are, being the authentic person that God has called us to be, being free to be who we are. And we were talking about competence last week, and we're going to go ahead and continue to do that as well. Y'all know many times when we're going through life, we face challenges, and sometimes when we face challenges, we want to give up. But you know, our competence is just like a muscle. When you go to the gym for the first time and you're working out, you are putting pressure on your muscles. Yeah, let me tell you, when I first got on the elliptical, the first time I tried to do it, I don't even know if it was 5 minutes, but I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes, okay? Yeah, I felt like my legs were jelly, jello or jelly. Girl, no, well, y'all, it felt like it felt like jelly. I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I was and then I was in the gym and it was people around me and I was like, oh my God. Like I was so embarrassed because I was like, I was so ready. I had the cute little workout clothes. I had my hair tied up. It was looking cute. You know, I was ready. I looked like I could really, like I was finna do something. And y'all started getting dizzy. And so, you know, I took a break for a moment and my mind was telling me, you know, you need to stop because maybe your heart is not ready for this. You may need to go get checked out. And so, and so y'all, it's funny now, but it was not funny then because I really thought that I really thought that, you know, if I got back on there, like it just felt like my heart was going to explode. It was beating so fast. And so I wanted to give up and I was like, I got to at least do 15 minutes. I have to. And so I got back on there and I went really slow and I was trying to build it up. And so I was like, okay, I went to 15 minutes and then I said, okay, well, I could go on a treadmill for another, you know, because I got to be at the gym at least 30 minutes to an hour. I paid for this gym membership. I need to, you know, utilize the money that I done spent. So y'all, I made it through that day. When I got home, as soon as you know, when you get in your car and you drive away from the gym, that time that it takes you to get from the gym to your house or wherever you're going, your body is like getting in a relaxed stage. So by the time I pulled in my driveway to get out, y'all, I felt like I could not move. I was like, I have torn something. I have messed my body up. And so I got out, I had some Epsom salt, I soaked in the tub, and I was just hurting. I was hurting so bad. And so I put so much pressure on those muscles. I had so much stress and pressure. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And I was in a lot of pain. And so, you know, I heard, you know, other people say, you know, you got to work through the pain. You know, come on, you can do it. You got to work through the pain. Just push through the pain. You know, there's victory on the other side. Yeah, all night I was just thinking in my head because I had already, you know, determined. You know, when you buy a gym membership, you put in your head like I'm gonna go to the gym these days. I'm gonna do this length of time and all that kind of stuff. I had told my husband, told everybody, you know, I'm working out now. So I was trying to think of an excuse, like a very good excuse. And I really felt like I was sick. You know, my body was telling me, listen, you've put yourself under too much pressure. You need to give up. You need to quit now. And that's what a lot of times we do. You know, when we think that pain is a signal for us to stop. And sometimes that's not what pain is signaling us to do. Pain is just letting us know, no, you need to continue to do this. You need to continue to, that's a rookie mistake that a lot of people make. And so what I did, I went ahead and I got up the next day, and I felt so bad because, see, I'm a type of person, I'm task oriented, and if I set a goal for myself, it's like I'm very competitive. I'm even competitive with myself. So it's like, no, you got to do this. So I went back the next day, and I kept going back. I kept going back. By the end of the week, even though I felt discomfort, even though it was inconvenient, even though it was a sacrifice for me to get up and go, sometimes it felt like my legs were like lead that I couldn't move. But it was something that strangely happened around Thursday, and then Friday I started to feel a little different. I was like, what's going on? The pain kind of subsided a little bit. It was like it was going away. It felt like torture the first couple of days, for real. Like, I couldn't make it through 5 minutes, seriously. I couldn't make it through 5 minutes without getting off and breathing, and like I had to go to the to the restroom, and just kind of sit up in there for a little bit and just be like, okay, catch your breath. But I noticed, okay, I'm up at 15, 20 minutes. I'm able to go a little bit longer without having to get a sip of water, without having to stop. The pain actually was temporary. And then a couple of weeks of me doing this, I began to see some, it looked like muscles was getting a little bit toned, and I was like, oh, y'all may not do this, but I felt like I lost, some weight, and, I was like some inches, even if I hadn't lost no weight, I lost some inches. Something was changing, I was like, I look good, I'm feeling it. And it was only a small price that I had to pay to achieve a higher level of victory. And that's the same thing for competence, y'all. If we focus on where we currently are, on our current level of expertise, on our current level of knowledge, we're not going to improve. Y'all know I work in business administration and management, and that's what I have my degrees in. And so, and I've worked for multi-million-dollar companies, in their accounting departments. I've worked in their administration department. I've worked in management. I have, over 15 to 17 years of managerial experience outside of what I do now, working in church ministry. And so, but guess what? Those degrees that I earned, if I only relied on the knowledge that I learned in college, I would not be on the level where I am now, because over time, the knowledge that you have, it evaporates. It's not it's not as it's not as well. Let me put it this way. It's like this. What I learned in high school, even though the information when I went to college, it helped me on that level. It did. But when I began to work for the multi-million-dollar companies, and the companies that required, like, if I made a mistake, it wasn't like a $5 or $10 mistake. These were hundreds of thousands of dollars mistakes that was on my shoulders. When I realized that, I had to push myself to learn different things. I couldn't just rely. Now, that was a foundation. So that was a good foundation. But I had to be a continual learner. I had to be teachable. I work in ministry, and I see this all the time in ministry. There are people, God gives you a revelation in 1985, and it's phenomenal. And thank God, it's great. But that same 1985 revelation, you still holding on to, and it's 2021. That same revelation that you had back in 2000, and you still trying to hold on to it in 2021, and things have changed. Now, the message has not changed. and I'm talking in ministry now. The message in ministry has not changed, but that goes for business too. But sometimes the method change, because even in ministry and in business, technology is ever growing. And so I may have learned how to write out, your debits and your credits on a spreadsheet. But now I have all kinds of technology and all kinds of systems that I have to use. And if I stick with what I knew, yeah, it still may work. But whereas it took me 2 or 3 hours to do it this way, if I increase my competence, if I increase my level of knowledge, I could cut that time in half. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? If I, for a lot of people, technology is a challenge. The pandemic, for church, those of us who are in the church realm or in ministry realm, knows if you are not already going live or using technology, it poses a real serious challenge to you, right? And if we were not already capable or able, we had to learn. And those of us who did not learn, guess what? We became less competent in the era where we are. And you can say, I mean, and sometimes when people say, you're not as competent in this area that you need to be, sometimes it can be offensive. But if you're ready to grow, it won't be offensive. You'll use that and say, you know what, I'm not as competent as I need to be in this area. So what do I need to do? I need to study more. I need to learn more. I need to surround myself with people who know more than I do so that I can grow. If we don't allow ourselves to be challenged, if we run away from challenges, the more we do that, the less competent we become. And again, like I said, the value that we have, it erodes over time. But if you want to position yourself for a greater level of authority, if you want to position yourself for a greater level of prosperity, if you want to position yourself for greater levels, then you need to become more competent. And as we build our competence, our confidence will be built as well. Because when I know that I know what I'm doing, why am I afraid? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid when I know my stuff. I'm not afraid. I'm not there's still some levels of, I'm not talking about like, some levels of humility where, I think sometimes it's good for us not to just, always just be like, oh, I got this. I think it's good for us to still lean and depend on God. Have that kind of level where it's like, okay, I'm leaning and depending on you, Jesus, but I know I've done what I'm supposed to do, so I know I've given you something to work with. Listen, y'all, look, I'm not gonna hold y'all all day. I could talk more about competence and our confidence and about these challenges, because we are always faced with challenges when it comes to being our authentic selves. Y'all, I can tell y'all about a challenge that I faced just yesterday. That I started to just, I'm not even gonna respond. I'm not even going to I'm just gonna quit. I'm not gonna respond to the challenge. But guess what? I have learned through years of reading and studying and building myself up how to respond properly. So I was ready for the challenge. I was like, okay, come on. We're gonna face this head on. And even though sometimes challenges, you're like, okay, I'm ready. I've grown past this level. Sometimes it still challenges us, and we're like, okay, So there still is an area that I need to grow a little bit more. There's still an area where there's still some more that I have to do. And we have to do the work. And if we're willing to do the work, guess what? There will be nothing that will be able to stop us. I posted on my page that finding my voice was not the easiest thing for me to do. It was not. There was a lot of heartache. There was a lot of trial and error. I made some mistakes. I did some things that I regretted doing. After I learned better, I did some things that I regretted doing even when back then, because I knew better. But guess what? I decided that I was not going to let my past define me. I wasn't going to let the opinions of other people define me. I wasn't even going to let my own opinion define me. I was not going to let anything other than what God's will for my life to define me. And now that I found my voice, I'm not going to let that go. Listen, I tell y'all can go to my website, www.2asktmi.com. You can get my book. This is a physical copy of the book. But today for Cyber Monday, I am offering my digital copy on my website only for $4.99. $4.99. Okay, so you can get the digital copy of my ebook on my website today only. Well, it's going to be 24 hours. You got 24 hours. There's no code needed. 24 hours, you can get the digital copy of Finding Your Voice Inside of the Noise. It's a 30-day devotional journal. I encourage each and every one of you to go get it, to work through it, to go day by day. And then even after you finish, I like the electronic copy, because then I'm able to go in and I'm able to erase the answers, or I'm able to save my answers and then go in and answer again and compare, versus writing in, when you write in your book, then you wrote in the book, you just got to get a journal and write your new answers in it. But I love it. Go to my website today, Cyber Monday, $4.99. Listen, y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all up any longer. I pray that today has been a blessing to you. Y'all meet me again tomorrow. We are finding our voice inside of the noise. We are building our self-confidence. We are learning to be free, to be who God has created us to be. We are learning to be who we are. We are authentic. We are authentic. We are the original. We are not trying to mimic or imitate anyone else, because no one can beat us being ourselves. A lot of people say that, and we find ourselves back in the position of trying to mimic. Oh, I like the way she does that, so let me try to do that. I like the way they do their lives, so let me try to do that. I like the way that they're running their business, so let me try to do that. I tried to do that myself at one point in my life, and I realized it's too much work trying to be anybody other than me. Now listen, it's too much work. Like I'm no stranger to hard work, but it's ridiculous trying to be somebody else. Like I'm trying to be a duplicate of something else when the original is just as good, or it's actually, for me, it's better. Okay? So, look, you can appreciate the beauty that God has placed on someone else, the beauty of their gift. You can appreciate that. But appreciate the beauty that God has placed inside of you. Whether you are a man or a woman, know that God has placed a special gift inside of you, and you are needed to release that so others can see and be blessed by that. But first and foremost, when you become who God has created you to be, guess who's gonna be blessed? You are blessed first and foremost. Okay? All right, y'all. This has been your TMI moment. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Make a conscious, a calculated decision to rejoice and be glad in it. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.